Hey guys, it's me Dave. It is 6/8/2021. So there's not a whole lot going on with me, so I'm not going to talk about my targeting. It's kind of the same old thing, but tonight I want to talk about reactions. These guys will do anything to get reactions out of us. Are they okay? So are they looking at our spikes when they get reactions out of us? Is that what they're monitoring, our spikes? When I was getting hit super hard, I was getting hit super hard, you guys. They were making me throw things. They were hitting me with rage and all this stuff. I was throwing dog bones. I was breaking cups on the floor. I mean, they were nailing me with rage. Some people talk about rage and all this stuff, and they say, oh yeah, they don't make them do anything, But when I've got hit hard, um, they nailed me with rage, and all this stuff. So they'll do all kinds of things for reactions to get out of you. When I was in the fake psych ward, they had, I swear to God, I swear over the Holy Bible, they had my fourth grade teacher in the psych ward to get reactions out of me. He was only in there for a day, or a couple hours actually. It was only a couple hours. And he looked a little older, obviously, because we're talking, that was 30 years ago. Oh, well, it was over 30 years ago now, but back then, 2016, it was probably pretty close to 30 years ago. More than that, more than 30, 32, 33 years ago, that I'm 48 now, so I don't know what the math is, but so they'll do all kinds of things for reactions. If they have total control over the situation, like when I was in the fake psych ward, it was filled with perps. They had to control that situation. They had to control the conversations and the scenarios in the street theater to get all these reactions out of me. They were getting all kinds of reactions out of me. So they had my fourth grade teacher in the psych ward. He was wearing a gown. He looked older, but they were like, "Hey, Mr. Hill, do you need this? Mr. Hill, do you need that?" Da, da, da. And I'm like, I'm looking at him like, he's my fourth grade teacher. I can't believe they contacted him and got him involved. Obviously, he's doing it for money, or I don't know if he remembers me. That was over 30 years ago. So it's unbelievable. When I when they committed me, I got committed, and my ex-girlfriend's sister is a lawyer for the city. Um, uh, they had the judge, they had my ex-girlfriend's sister involved, they had my lawyer, which didn't do anything. My lawyer was involved. He said group home, part of a skit. So he wasn't working for me. And they had a caseworker there, and they had I don't know. They had a bunch of people there at my commitment, and they were all um, they lied on my commitment. They said I did a bunch of stuff that I didn't do and all this stuff. So they will lie. These guys will lie their ass off to get you in trouble. The only thing is that I had a commitment, and they said that would have went on my record. I don't know, criminal record or something. I don't know. I don't have a criminal record, so I guess it would have went on my record somehow. Um, okay, so they did. My lawyer talked to my ex-girlfriend's sister, which is the lawyer for the city, and they went out in the hallway and talked, and they did a civil commitment on me. It wouldn't show up on my record at all. Wouldn't show up at all. All right, so they did that, and they're like, if you mess up, the commitment starts over again. It'll start from day one. It'll start over again, and all this stuff. So my ex-girlfriend's sister, I went to a barbecue at her house before. I've went to a party with her before, her and her husband. You know, this is a girl I've seen a few times and partied with. You know, had a couple beers and all this stuff. All right, so her eyeballs were all red and all this stuff. She looked like she was crying for an hour. You know, um, when I was going through this, she was very emotional. Um, when I was going through this, you know. So they will get all kinds of people that we know involved. There's people I haven't seen in years. Um, I'm not saying it's them, but coincidental, you see them at, I don't know, Little Caesars when you're getting a pizza. You haven't seen the guy in 10 years, you know. They'll do stuff like that. They will get your ex-girlfriends involved. I went to Quick Trip a couple months ago, and I swear to God, my ex-girlfriend was in the store. I'm not saying she's involved, I'm not sounding paranoid, but I thought it was weird that all of a sudden there's this girl. We had masks on, so I don't know if it was her or not. We made eye contact, and it looked like her. You know, it probably was her. They will do that. They will do anything in my program to get reactions out of me. They will. Um, you know, so she held the door open for me, and I'm like, thanks, you know, and stuff. But we had masks on, so I looked at her in the eye, and I thought, I'm thinking, is that Molly? You know, is that my ex-girlfriend? You know, she's married now and all this stuff, but would they get her involved? Of course, they would get her involved. They got another friend of, when I was going out with her, they got another friend of hers involved. I went to the grocery store one time, and this girl named Laura was walking in the grocery store. You know, they kind of let me know they got these people involved. They act very nervous. They act like they're walking on eggshells for someone. You know, my perps get voice to skull to tell them what to do, and these people act very nervous, like they're gonna get in trouble or something if they don't do what they're told. You know. So I'm not saying it's all them, but what are the chances of this stuff happening? You know, people always talk about they get people from your past involved, and they do. They do. They will do it to get reactions out of you. Um, you know, it's unbelievable how they track down some of these people. I had now there was a childhood friend, my best friend, growing up until our 20s, and we kind of split apart. But we used to party together and all this stuff, and they had him. I don't know if it was last summer. I think it was last summer. You know, he used to have a beard and look kind of scruffy and all this stuff. He had a haircut, and he shaved his beard off and all this stuff, and he was staring at me like I was a ghost when I drove by him. And I looked at him, and I'm like, that's Dwayne. You know, I haven't seen Dwayne in 25 years, you know. So he was involved. He was looking at me like, I mean, he would have, you know, I haven't seen him in 25 years. How would he know I'm driving a van and all this stuff? He was involved. Another friend of mine, I tried adding on Facebook. He won't add me. We grew up together, partied together. Um, you know, we used to do a lot of drinking when we were kids and stuff, and cruise around and look for girls and all this stuff. And um, you know, he won't add me on Facebook either. He lives a couple blocks over. He's a bodybuilder, and you know, the guy's huge, and he is also, okay, so get this, he's also a security officer at the hospital. All right, now I was in the fake psych ward. They're doing street theater. People were acting. You wouldn't believe how these people can act. I swear to God, the tears and everything. They're good actors, you guys. Um, okay, so they had this one girl throwing a fit and throwing a fit and all this stuff, and so they had my friend. They had plexiglass where the nurses were, and they had my friend, and he was a security guard at the hospital. He was standing there, and my mom and my sister were gonna come and visit me, so I was standing out there too, waiting for them, you know, and I'm like, so they're watching me on security cameras and all this stuff too. I'm like, that's Danny Boy. We used to call him Danny Boy uh, when we were kids. I'm like, the guy's huge. He's a monster. He's a huge guy. Um, and they got him involved. It was just unreal. I haven't talked to him in 20 years. You know, so they will do all kinds of things to get reactions out of us, you guys. All kinds of things. I mean, they will have women bending over, showing off their stuff. I'm telling you, tight jeans, so tight, it's unreal. Showing off their stuff to get reactions out of you. And I heard the same thing for women. Women, they have bodybuilder guys, big guys, flexing their muscles and wearing tank tops and all this stuff. Well, they do the same thing to us. They have women wearing tight clothing, tight tank tops and all this stuff, showing off their boobs and showing off their butt, and they do it for money. They to get reactions out of you. The thing I was so the thing I was talking about today, or the thing I was thinking about today was, what do they tell these people, right? What do they tell them? I don't think they're telling them that we're pedophiles and all this stuff and go flaunt your stuff. I don't think they're doing that. They may be telling them that you're a womanizer and women get your attention and bend over and show your boobs or whatever. They could be doing that. I don't know what they're telling them. I was thinking about this today. What are they telling my ex-girlfriend to get her to get her involved? She knows I'm not a criminal. I'm not anything, right? I've gone out with her for over a year, and she knows I'm not anything. I work and I come home and I rest and whatever and go to work. All right, so she knows I'm not anything. So what are they telling these people? They're approaching these people and they're saying what? What are they telling them? That it's a practical joke. We want you to see your ex-boyfriend, or I don't know what they're telling them. I don't think they're sitting there saying, "Oh, he's a pedophile and he's a rapist and he's a criminal," because they know I'm not. I've went with these girls. My friends know I'm not anything. I partied with them. I grew up with these people. We cruised for girls. They know I'm not anything. So they got to be telling them something. Like it's a practical joke, and we want him to